It's a what's called luxury man suite. They are per condominium.
So it's gonna be a new build?
Yes, new construction, two-story. Lower level will be like a parking garage, and upper level will be like party entertainment area, things of that sort of thing. Yeah, interesting.
We've made it.
All right, so, I guess, okay, I don't have to turn it on. All right, getting used to the new system. All right, call the meeting to order, Zoning and Adjustment Board, Tuesday, February 13th, 2024, 5 p.m. First item on the agenda is approval of minutes from the November 14th meeting. Has everybody had a minute to look at those? Would anybody like to make a motion or corrections?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Motion, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, all opposed? None. Next item on the agenda is old business. We have none, so we'll move on to new business. The only item on the agenda is parcel ID number 614653030.000. John Fox requesting a variance from the minimum rear setback of 25 feet. And Wade, if you'll introduce the proposal for us, the request.
As you mentioned, this is a variance to the minimum rear yard, 25% variance is being requested. See, this is a older, well, case dates from the 70s, single-family residential lot. It's a pie-shaped lot, you can see in the subdivision, zone R1. And specifically, they're asking for a 25% variance for the minimum rear yard setback, which is typically 25 feet, to allow an addition to the house to extend 7 feet into that required rear yard. Their plan will result in a setback distance of 18 feet rather than the 25. They also point out that the rear lot is within the flood zone, and they note that the shape of the lot and the location of the house, they feel warrants is the unusual situation to justify the variance. Would just point out that in the criteria we ought to look at are there in the findings. But just point out, as you can see, this is a pie-shaped lot, and what that typically does is because it's so narrow, lots like this are so narrow at the street, in order to get proper width to put the house, that typically results in the house being further into the lot,
Right.
reducing the rear yard area. This is kind of what we have in this situation. So there is it is a little bit unusual. Pie-shaped lots are not totally unusual, but they do have their own distinct siding characteristics. I just want to point out that the 25% variance from 25 feet setback actually is 18 feet 9 inches is the maximum that y'all and the board can approve. That's just what we have to deal with. But that's all I have to say, and the applicant here, if you want to add anything to it.
I think what.
Well, if you, give me 1 second, I'm sorry. Any questions for Wade or anything before we bring the applicant up? No? Okay.
Can you scroll down to the site plan? Show that.
And if you would, just speak into.
Yeah, if you'll come up here and state your name and address for the record, please. Sorry to interrupt.
I'm Mike Petto, 507 General Pershing. I work for the architect and I work for the builder. I work closely with the family. What we didn't end up showing, which we probably should have, is that they intend to add a pool in a little U-shape at a future point. And we spoke with the adjacent neighbors, which are we're backing up to their side yard, and there's a carport between us and the house. They signed a letter that should be in your package. And there's a wet swale, wet ditch that is somewhat tidal, but mainly drained. And it's all quite wooded. Like I said, we looked at other arrangements that just had a child, and they are desperate for space, and moving isn't really a good option right now, so we're hoping everything will be approved. Other than that, if y'all have any questions?
Does anybody have any questions?
I guess looking at the plans, where is this, this is gonna be an addition, and is that what we're seeing where it says lot 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then the only question is, it can't come back, you know, 3/4 of a foot to get inside the 8?
Oh, no, if 18.9 is the setback that we're allowed, by all means, I'll make the adjustments, and we'll be close, further away than 18.9.
And then plans for the pool would be
The pool
to the
goes
right
in-
of,
To the right, in the little shade, because there's also a family room addition on the right-hand side, if you're looking at it. So they're creating a little courtyard and an outdoor space.
All right, any further questions for the applicant?
So if we do the 25% approval, if we approved it, that 18 would be
0.7.
18.75 to that corner. Shown on lot 3, okay.
That's all that's being asked about is below the line, zone 3 there, right? Is that
Yes.
exception? Yeah.
What about this
Yeah,
area?
yeah, right.
If you flip to
Flip the page.
yeah, you can see a little closer, the more zoomed in on this page. Yeah.
I'll get you.
Yeah. Further questions? Okay. If you'll have a seat, if something else comes up, we'll bring you back up.
All right.
All right, any further discussion, or would anyone like to make a motion?
Okay, I'll make like to recommend approval of the variance of 25% from the minimum rear yard setback distance to allow an 18.75 foot setback from the south property line at 1105 LaMarin Court as shown on the site plan due to the narrowness of the street frontage of the lot, causing the house to be located further on the front lot line.
All right, so we have a motion to approve the variance of 25% from the minimum rear yard setback. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All approved, or all opposed? None. All right, so the motion has approved. This will be on the consent agenda for the Board of Aldermen next Tuesday at 6. In here. In the same room, yes. And consent agenda, so usually they just approve all of them.
Do I need to attend that one as well?
It's not required. I always tell people, you know, for the few minutes it might involve, it's quite worth it. But
No problem.
most of the time, nothing comes of it. But you never know, some question may happen, you never know.
Very good. Well, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
All right, next item on the agenda is audience request, and the audience is empty, so we'll move on. Does anybody have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Motion, do we have a second? Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
How do they work?
We're still
Very
green.
sensitive.
Yeah, we're
I
still
got
on.
a text.
have planning commission, or are they off tonight? You have that next?
I don't think he has a real short-term rental on the agenda.
Oh, yeah, got a slew of them.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yours to keep.
Carolyn is slowly going through the backlog of applicants, applications that we've received, so.
The next block of them up.
What's that? What's
Short-term rentals for
Oh, short.
planning commission.
Oh, okay.
I imagine they come